14 lies your pastor may be telling you right now and how to dictate them. 14 lies your pastor may have told you or may be telling you and how to dictate them. Listen to me. This is not an attack on pastors, no. This is not an attack on spiritual leaders, no. This is a simple thing to correct some believers. Yes, even some spiritual fathers. Some spiritually minded people can at times teach wrongly. But here are 14 lies that your pastor may be telling you that you need to know and you need to dictate them. Number one, it is a lie for your pastor to tell you you cannot question me. Number one, don't question me. I am God's anointed. That is one of the lies that your pastor is telling you. When your pastor tells you, don't question me, I'm God's anointed, my dear, that's a big lie. The scripture clearly says that we should test everything. The scripture clearly says we should question what we hear, what we see. So when your pastor is telling you, you should not question me, I am God's anointed, my dear, that's a lie. It is not in the scripture. In fact, in Acts of Apostles chapter 17, verse 11, the Bible clearly says that those who receive the word continue to study. They continue to search the scripture to be sure that what they heard is true. So when your pastor is telling me, I am God's anointed, you cannot question me, that is a very big fat lie. You should listen clearly to your pastor, but test everything to be sure. Number two lie that your pastor may be telling you that you do not know is this. Number two, everything I say is directly from God. That's a very big fat lie. If your pastor says that everything is telling you is directly from God, my dear, that's a very big lie. A pastor can genuinely love God and still make mistakes. A pastor can still love God and make mistakes. So when your pastor is telling you that everything he's telling you is from God, my dear, that's a lie. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 21 says, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. So everything is not from God. That your pastor is holy, that your pastor is archbishop, that your pastor is a bishop or an apostle, does not mean he cannot make mistakes. So once your pastor tells you everything I'm telling you is from God, my dear, that's a very big fat lie. Don't believe something simply because your pastor said it. Don't believe that thing simply because your pastor said it. No. Search the scripture and be sure. Number three lie that your pastor may be telling you right now and you are believing it, but this is how you dictate them. Number three lie is this: if you are suffering, you must have sinned. Number three lie is your pastor telling you that your suffering is as a result of your sin. My dear, that's a lie. That's a very big fat lie. Not every problem is a punishment for your personal sin. No. Not every problem that you are passing through right now is as a result of your sin. You can clearly see that in the book of Job. Did Job sin before God allowed life trials and temptation to meet him? John chapter 9 verse 2 to 3. Jesus asked his disciple, this blind man, this crippled man, Jesus, yes, this man that is sick, the disciples asked Jesus, who sinned? Is it this man or his parents' sin that made this man to be born blind? And Jesus said, no, it was not a sin, but that the glory of the Father will be made manifest. Stop blaming your suffering on your sin. No. Once your pastor is telling you that the way your problem is coming from is as a result of your sin, my dear, that's a very big fat lie. Even at that, I'm not telling you categorically that sin cannot bring you suffering. It can. But once your pastor tells you that everything you're going through is as a result of your sin, my dear, that's a lie. Number four lie that your pastor is telling you that you need to know is this: God give money and goodwill. Definitely, yes, give good money and definitely goodwill will locate you, my dear. That's a lie. A very big fat lie. Your pastor is telling you give money and goodwill will definitely make, and God will definitely make you rich. I'm not undergrading or I'm not underrating the power of giving. But once your pastor is telling you that give money and God will definitely, using that word definitely make you rich, that's a lie. That's a very big fat lie. Giving is biblical, yes. Giving is very, very biblical. But giving should never be presented as a guaranteed payment for a miracle. Giving should not be presented as a guaranteed payment for a miracle. Giving should not be taken as a guaranteed payment for a miracle. No, you don't need to pay God for God to do anything for you. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7 says, every man according to as he purposeth in his heart, not as your pastor tells you. Every man as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. Take note of that. Number 5 lie that your pastor may be telling you is this: if you disagree with me, you are rebelling against God. That's a lie. When your pastor tells you that once you disagree with him, that you are rebelling against God, that is a lie. You are permitted to disagree with your pastor. Respecting your pastor does not mean you should accept everything without thinking. No, that's a very big fat lie. Acts of Apostles chapter 17 verse 11 clearly states, they received the word with all readiness of mind and searched the scripture whether those things were so. You can disagree with your pastor. You can tell your pastor, no, this is not, I do not agree with what you have just taught us now. There is a mistake. And you iron it out with your pastor. Once your pastor tell you that for you to disagree with me, you are rebelling against God, that is a lie. Number 6 lie that your pastor may be telling you as a Christian, and you see scriptures to dictate that lie. Number 6, God only speaks through your pastor. That's a lie. God does not only speak through the pastors. God does not only speak through your pastor. God can use pastors, but your relationship with God should not depend completely on one human being. God can also use you. If you read the book of Joel, the Bible said, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. So God can equally use you. God can use your daughter. God can use your son. God can use your wife. So once your pastor is telling you now that God can only speak through pastors, my dear, that's a lie. Number 7, the lie that your pastor is telling you is this: every prophecy spoken over you must come to pass. My dear, that's a lie. If your pastor is telling you that every prophecy spoken over you must come to pass, that's a lie. Not every prophecy or prophetic statement is automatically from God. Not every prophecy or prophetic statement is automatically from God. So be guided. 1 Thessalonians 5, 20-21. Despise not prophesying. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. The lesson here is this: don't accept every prophecy blindly. Test it. Number 8 lie that your pastor is telling you. Number 8 lie that your pastor is telling you now that you are being pushed to believe is this: touch not the Lord's anointed and do his prophet no harm. Touch not the Lord's anointed means you can never correct a pastor on a lie. When your pastor is telling you that word, touch not my anointed, means that you should not correct him. My dear, that's a very big lie. That phrase should never be used to protect a leader from accountability. Galatians chapter 2 verse 11 clearly says, but when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was not to be blamed. Every great spiritual leader can make mistakes and may need correction. So once your pastor tell you, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm, and he's telling you that word is so that you don't correct him, my dear, that's a lie. Number 9 lie that your pastor may be telling you, number 9, is this: if you leave this church, God will punish you. Now lie. It's a clear, big lie. That's one of the lies that your pastor is telling you. If you leave this church, God will punish you. A church is important, but your relationship with God matters most. Your relationship with God matters most. You don't need to belong to any church for you to have a good relationship with God. 1 Corinthians 3 verse 5 clearly says, who then is Paul and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believe? Whether it is brother A or brother B that you are under, your relationship with God is what matters most. Number 10, lie that your pastor may be telling you right now: you need my special prayer before God can answer you. That's a very big lie. You don't need your pastor's special prayer before God can answer you. God can also answer you, your prayers. Pastors can pray for you, but you do not need a human being to give you permission to approach God. You don't need your pastor to give you permission to approach God. Pray, God can answer your prayer. When your pastor tells you that it's only his special prayer that can make God to answer you, that's a very big fat lie. So don't rely on your pastor's prayer alone. Hebrews 4:16. Let us therefore come boldly before the presence